So, sorry, give me a second here. We're going to be looking at Captain America from Empyre. That was a very unprofessional way to start the stream. I apologize. We're going to look at Captain America from Empyre here. As you guys know, I'm a huge Captain America fan. We finally got to see the super rare yesterday in Scott Porter's day one unboxing, which is pretty cool. So, I'm pumped. We got to see it. I'm not as jazzed about what it ended up being, but that's okay. I love the dial. The dial I love. I absolutely love this, guys. As you can see here, I mean, a 12 for 4. He's giving off some crazy cool... Sorry, I gotta go to my YouTube on my phone really quick just to make sure my live video is looking good. And it is. All right, cool. So basically, the dial, as you can see here, guys, 11 for 4. 11 speed, 12 attack, 18 defense, 4 damage. I wish he started with invulnerability on his 75-point line. Casually, this style is amazing. I absolutely love this style. I will play it a lot. Played at 100 a lot. Played at 75 a lot. Played at 40 a lot. What can I say? I love it. I want to say something cooler and more in depth than I love it, but the dial is great. But let's go ahead. Sadly, this is where Captain America is no longer that cool. And that is the trait. He only has one trait. He has no special abilities. He only has 2 keywords, Avengers and Soldier. Pretty rough. But, so what's the trait do? Well, it gives him traded leadership, which is nice. Like, that's cool. At the beginning of the game, you may replace up to 4 other friendly standard characters with the same number of standard characters from your sideline on their starting clicks. All replacement and replaced characters must have the Avengers keyword and different names. The total points of the replacement characters can exceed the total points of replaced characters. So he gets to swap out 4 characters. That's his whole trait, right? So James asks, how would I change the trait? Well, it wouldn't be swap at all. I just flat out wouldn't give him swap because I can't stand that mechanic. So to change this Captain America, traded leadership is fine. If they wanted to give him a shield bounce type mechanic that maybe the Winter Soldier movie Captain America has or the Hammer of Thor Captain America has as a trait, I would be okay with that. If they wanted to give him a Living Legend trait, that would be awesome. I think for 100 points, even though he has a long dial, I still think a Living Legend, that's only, max 4 extra clicks. So I think that would have also been fine since he's so vanilla. I think he should have been a captain. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. He's Captain America. He has one of the most famous sidekicks in all of it. Batman, Robin, Captain America, and Bucky. And Cap has had countless amount of sidekicks, and he's been a steward and leader of so many teams. He's the most obvious choice ever for captain, and it is a spit in the face that WizKids didn't give him the captain ability. I'll forgive him for it as long as they eventually give me a Captain America and Bucky that are a captain and sidekick. Otherwise, I don't know why they made the mechanic. It's literally Captain America is a captain and Bucky is a sidekick, and if they don't do that with the mechanic, then it's a waste. It's an absolute waste. So if you would have been a captain, I would have think something like that would have been his leadership, where he has leadership, and then when he uses it and succeeds, he can pull a token off of friendly sidekicks anywhere. I would have just made it super simple that sidekicks don't have to be adjacent to pull stuff off. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, James. The dial is okay. The front part of the card, I don't like at all. I don't like this one trait they have where it's just Cap as a swap guy. But this dial, that's a chef's kiss dial right there. That's a love letter. All right, we saw, Cap just has to hit hard. Cap isn't a pen blast person. He's not a precision strike person. He's none of this. The dude punches hard. The dude helps out the team. He's got enhancement. He's gotten power, traded leadership. He's got, close combat expert mixed in there. The dude just the guy is just a beast. In the how long this is like shows Cap's like resolve and everything, and how he just keeps going. 6 range double bolt is perfectly fine. Like the dial is absolutely beautiful. I'll probably play this guy, and I might have 1 or 2 figures on the sideline. I doubt I would have a bunch. I'll have to play him once with like a quote unquote optimized swap team at least one time. But besides that, mostly just gonna play him as just a good casual Captain America dial. Like it's very vanilla and plain, but like that's okay, honestly. But yeah, like the dial itself is great. Maybe, the bad thing about this is um, I don't know what they're trying to do with this set. If they're trying to make it really, really simple for new people. But it seems like they're not really handing out keywords. And when they hand out a normal amount of keywords, i.e. that Wolverine, that's like the LE, like to me, that's like a normal amount of keywords. They make like a big deal out of it for whatever reason. So I don't really get that. I don't get that part at all. But yeah, like that's what we got. So we can talk a little bit about swap and what's good. So over here, we're sadly using HC Realms. Just for basic stuff, right? Not him, but so Avengers characters that start the game with Pogs / characters we can turn into Avengers and make them start the games with Pogs with Steve Rogers. So if we're talking about swap here, Peggy Carter, when she begins the game, she makes a where is it? She makes a Becky Barnes bystander, so you can get this for free if you play her and then swap her out. They're both Avengers, which is cool. Falcon is sadly a prime, and he makes Red Wing, although it's only when Falcon is in play and has his trait that Red Wing has autonomous here. So still though, if you're okay with wasting your prime slot, boom, you can get Red Wing. Hypersonic, not great stats, tiny, I guess, at the very least, and then you have to kill it twice, which is cool. But what is neat, if you have this Captain America on your team, which you will because you can't swap this Captain America out, he does have a 4/6 to remove an action token from a friendly adjacent character named Falcon or Captain America. So he can remove tokens from Cap, which is kind of cool. So that is neat. This version of the Thing is an Avenger, and you'll get Alicia Grimm from him. So that is your 9 attack little sidestep support gal here, which is kind of neat. She does all this stuff that's whatever, but she's just basically a little support pog. So I might build a Captain America team that has these people on it. These are the only ones that I saw that had that could make bystanders at the beginning of the game. Doesn't take an action to then swap them out and keep their bystanders that have the Avengers keyword. The rest of these, I couldn't think of any other ones, but the rest of these are ones where if you want to bring them in with Steve Rogers and make them Avengers and then swap them out, you can. So you can bring in Dr. Claire Finn for Yaffet, little sidestep pog. And then you can bring in the Thing for Chuck and Buzz. I just played them tonight. I think Chuck and Buzz are really, really good. Obviously, without Thing, they don't have autonomous. And also, it's not a Fantastic Four theme team anyways. It's Avengers. But these are kind of your pog options for Captain America. I think that's fine. Bad thing about Peggy is if obviously you play her main force, you can't play her on the sideline. So that way she can come back in whenever your Steve Rogers dies, which kind of sucks. But that's fine. What would teams look like with this? I honestly there's some fun things you can do. Obviously, all the Avengers that start with gems and any 50-point character. Because let's just look at Steve Rogers really quick. He says, I believe during force construction. So yeah, leadership during force construction. So yeah, 50 points or less, get the Avengers keyword. So number 1, you get to swap out Steve Rogers. So you get to get rid of him with anyone else you want, right? I just don't know if Avengers is as strong of a keyword to be utilized in swap. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. It's a solid keyword. But even though we get a lot of Avengers, it's not the strongest thing in the world. So sadly, Black Leopard, who's good for Fantastic Four swap, is obviously good for this swap if you want to use him as your prime. That can be kind of iffy. Stuff like this, Immortal Hulk potentially. If you have 100 point, I would see. So one thing I will say about this, yeah, Bill. No, Wonder Woman equipment swap. So yeah, if we bring in Steve Rogers, he can make any Wonder Woman or any 50-point or less Wonder Woman to be whatever. And then, like you said, Bill, we can bring in Giganta because let's just look up Giganta really quick. I'm glad you guys can hear me all right and everything. I believe it's the Prime. Yeah. So the Prime, when establishing a theme team, you choose a friendly character named Wonder Woman. If you do, she gains that character's keywords. So she'll gain all of Wonder Woman's keywords. Wonder Woman. And Steve Rogers is going to make, let's see, we need a 50-point Wonder Woman here. This one, that one only starts the Lasso of Truth. This one is 75. Who can start with, I believe, anything? Yeah. There's got to be one that's less than this one. We have to be able to get more than just Lasso of Truth, right? Probably right there. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, this super rare Wonder Woman, you can basically add to your team. You can get any Wonder Woman equipment for free. And obviously that'll start in your starting area, and they'll be unequipped once you swap them out. And then you get Giganta. But if you also don't want Giganta, she will also have the Avengers Keyword. So for 125 points, this can be a part of your build. And you can still get rid of all three of them if you want to. If you'd be like, I don't need Giganta, I don't need Wonder Woman, I just want the lasso, or I just want the bracelets or the armor or something, then you can just get rid of her. And then I think everything else, as far as like equipment goes, is all going to be ABPI. And then I believe, yeah, there's no equipment in that set. There is equipment in Spider-Man, and I do believe one of them was Superior Spider-Man starts the Ock arms. So, excuse me, the Waldo arms. So you can get the Waldo arms as well for free for 85 points. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of fighting a cold here. You can get the Ock arms for free, for free for 85 points, which is kind of cool. And then you can still get all of the gems. But I believe he's the only other Avenger besides all the gems that are going to start with objects. Obviously, once whatever comes out, it's going to change. But yeah, so you can get Captain America and Iron Man. I honestly kind of want to play with swapping these guys out because then you can get the gauntlets for free. I think that would be really fun. So either Captain America or Iron Man, you can start with the gauntlet. Are they the same point cost? They are the same point cost, yeah. Okay, so I think I will have to play a cap swap team once with the gauntlet Captain America, just to do it, because I think it's funny. King Britain doesn't start with anything. Doctor Strange is the bearer of the soul gem. Iron Man is space and reality. Spider-Man is nothing. Namor is power and time. Captain America is just time. And then, yeah, we already talked about Falcon to get Red Wing, but it uses up the slot. Thor is time. And then, yeah, that's basically it. I know Captain Marvel is reality, and then Black Widow is space. Yeah. So, and then I think there's a Black Panther in there. But you can get all of those gems. You can swap them out. You can steal their gems, which is pretty cool. But once again, swap is a very boring and lame mechanic, and it really sucks that, like, that's all that Captain America gets. Because it's just sort of what I mean is that it's lazy, right? Like, this is just a lazy thing to give somebody. Like, we have this amazing Captain America sculpt. We have this amazing dial. Like, I love this dial. So this is the only good thing about this Captain America. Well, not the only good thing, but in my opinion, the best thing about this Captain America is that I don't have to play his stupid swap ability, because this dial is worth 100 points, just like period. Traded leadership in this dial, 1000% it's worth 100 points, and I am gonna love playing this Captain America. He is a casual beast. That's like how I would say him. Like, where he's like, even with swap, he is on the edge of being almost a fun foul and casual, but nah, he's fine. He's not gonna be meta though, so you have to keep him on your team for swap. And if you're gonna play swap, he's probably gonna be 40 points. And for 40 points, he's not great. Like, really, like, in a competitive setting where we're at now, in competitive, he's got a 17 ESD to protect himself. It's really bad, like, just period, right? So competitive play wise, we have to see some really, really good Avengers. Like, I mean, some amazing Avengers to make him competitive. Not saying that other people won't try. I mean, I'm going to at least try to make him competitive, even though I hate the idea of swap. I really do. It's not fun. When I play Heroclix, I want to Like, oh, this is what I built. That's what I built. If it counters me, it counters me. If it does, it doesn't. Like, whatever, right? Yeah. So overall, I mean, if we're gonna say power creep, swap isn't really power creep, but yeah, this dial right here, this dial is nuts. It doesn't make any sense, right? Just looking at She-Hulk today, she's 40 points. She's 4 clicks long. She gets a -2 defense when targeted by mind control, which is really rough. But what's crazy is that even though she has great values, now she's gonna be a 12 for 4 right away with close combat expert, punching you, but she'll just get, pen blasted for whatever. But she's still, for 40 points, she's crazy, but she just has a short dial, right? For 100 points, Captain America is very, very front loaded. And then he's kind of a 50-point character for the rest of his dial. You know what I mean? He doesn't have pen blast, he doesn't have pulse wave, no precision strike, he doesn't have anything, crazy, right? No range combat expert, no whatever. He's just a very solid 12 for 4. He's just like, he's hitting you with like the meat of his hand, So it's great. I love it. But this trait, that's the problem. It's boring. In a set where there's captains and sidekicks, he's not a captain. Yeah, no, exactly, Bill. Well, they don't even have to be low points, right? That's not necessary for a swap team. Look at Hellfire. We've got 75-point or higher characters for the most part in Hellfire, right? Jason Wingard, Blackheart, all that stuff, the mainstays of a Hellfire team. Even look at an X-Men swap team, right? It doesn't matter if it's low points. It matters if it's like broken and busted, right? So like Exodus and Jean Grey, that's 75 and 95 points. You know what I mean? And then you think about Avengers. What does X-Men have to fill out? They have like four retaliators, I'm gonna say. Colossus, Dark Phoenix, maybe they only have 3, whatever. They have like plenty of retaliators, right? Yeah, no, absolutely. It's my pleasure being interactive. Like that's what makes this all fun to me. And I'm liking that the comments are coming through actually kind of fast. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do, but I'm super happy with that. But yeah, like what makes X-Men and Brotherhood and all that stuff good for swap? I think for X-Men, yeah, there's a ton of low point characters that you can swap in and out. Like I think that definitely helps. But like you have to look at this, right? Avengers aren't meta anymore by themselves, right? Will this push them into the meta? I think it depends what we see in War of the Realms and what we see in this set, Empyre. Because right now, the most meta Avengers were in this past year was like Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Immortal Hulk. Or like double Black Widow, Captain Marvel. Something like that, right? And that's just not viable anymore. It isn't, Immortal Hulk's not viable anymore. He's good, but the thing about Immortal Hulk is once you play against him enough, you understand the flow of his dial and how to rotate his dial. X-Men have just better support. They have more retaliation. They have more busted tactics. Same thing with Hellfire. There's a busted tactic with Jason Wingard. Jason Wingard's busted. He's good. Blackheart, busted. He's good. Well, yeah, Pepper would be the lowest Avenger. Well, that's a lie. The lowest Avenger is Aim Red. And Happy Hogan. Happy Hogan is also an Avenger for 20 points. So, I think Pepper's 25. Bill, you're going to be embarrassed if she's 25. And Black Leopard is an Avenger, though. So, Black Leopard was in the meta for a little bit, right? When Fantastic Four swap came out. And to be fair, I'm not going to poo-poo on Captain America's swap, because this is how I like swap. If you're going to have swap, you should just have like swap for teams that aren't good. Honestly, in my opinion, swap should be for teams that are like bad. So like what teams have swap? You're probably going to forget this, but so it's X-Men, it's Brotherhood, all those other keywords, right? Shi'ar and stuff, Hellfire. Eric Masterson is 15, and he is, I believe, the lowest. Well, the lowest Avenger is Giant Girl at 10. But if we're purely talking modern, the lowest, I believe, is Aim Red, because Eric's not modern anymore, but that is true. Black Leopard was in the meta for a little bit though. Main man. He did see a lot of like play. So I mean I lost against a Black Leopard team earlier this year. It was Black Leopard, Captain Marvel, Black Widow, the movie chase, and then what's her face, Voyager. Black Leopard is still good. It's just he's not. I don't know how to say it. He's just not seeing play because there's just stuff that's better, right? Swap. We are officially entered the age. I'm gonna quit looking at this Black Widow here. People at least want to know I'm talking about this Captain America at the very least. Um, so yeah, exactly, Bill. So what was our swap? It was X-Men Brotherhood, all those other keywords. It's Avengers, it's Fantastic Four, and it's Frightful Four. So I think characters like Frightful Four and Avengers having swap is fine because they aren't like meta powerful. You know what I mean? Like that's fine. Uh, the problem with swap is that it's it's not fun to play against. Like just period. It's like oh I won map roll. Let's see what's on your team. Cool. Because I'm so bad at team building, I didn't actually build a team that could handle a wide variety of other teams. Instead, then it's not because you're bad at team building, it's because you're abusing the game. But that's how it feels, right? It's like, oh, I can't build a team that's like just good by itself. So I'm gonna have to swap into other stuff to specifically counter your team. That's not fun. Shifting focus is different. That's like a mid-game choosing like, oh, what's good this turn. And I think like swap has sort of it's been a part of Heroclix. We could say since shifting focus. I can't think of any abilities older, so I can think of probably the oldest version of swap is I'm better suited for these foes with the Justice League and Avengers Roundtable and Teleporter. You know what I mean? Where you would take one ID character, only one character, swap it out with a different character around the same points, whatever, on your force, right? And then you would just get one character swapped out. And I remember so many people not using that ability. Like really, they hardly ever used the better suited for your foes on the Avengers Roundtable, at least where I played and everything, right? Um, and that was just crazy. Yeah, and I absolutely agree with you, Johnson. It's more like a this is the team I built, and then I'm playing it today, versus, and this is what was annoying about entities and pick a power, right? Was that you have to take all this time at the beginning of your turn. Instead, it's now at the beginning of the game, which is a little bit better. But it's like, oh, I've got to change this to fit you because this team isn't good against you. And like, that's not Heroclix to me. Heroclix is like, this is the team I built. Let's play with, see what happens. I want to challenge you guys. If you play modern competitive right now, and you see it's like there's no team, pretty much. There's always exceptions, obviously. There is no team that has less than like 5 or 6 characters on it, like right now in modern. You know what I mean? Like we have slowly been getting up. James asks, why would you ever use the swap up mechanic in casual? He can see maybe one figure. Come on. So the only reason I would ever use swap is to honestly just get rid of Steve Rogers. I would. Oh, sorry, I'm fighting a cold right now, guys. I would probably use it to make Guy Gardner an Avenger, and then I would swap Steve Rogers out for just a different Avenger, because Steve, he's kind of a waste of 50 points. I love this Steve Rogers, but after he makes somebody an Avenger, he's just a sidestep perplex for 50 points. That's a 30 points at best sidestep perplex, you know what I mean? And yeah, he's got clicks of life, whatever, but he's really not doing much. So that is honestly purely from casual, like from a fun perspective, I would just use it to get rid of this Steve Rogers. Or if I wanted to play more Avengers that are really, really fun, that I can't play every like round, right? So let's look at like Earth X. I might swap in Captain Marvel with somebody if I think it's gonna be fun, right? Like I would play it very casually, swap in Captain Marvel. If I know they have, so like this would be a fun one, right? Like for like weird casual stuff. If I know they have a mastermind heavy team, where is it? Is it this one? Nope, that's not it. I'm looking for the Earth X Captain America. I might just type in Earth X. Oh, he might not be an Avenger actually. He might just be Shield and Earth X. Never mind. So you can still use the title cap, but I honestly, yeah, swap really is the new ID card where it's like a, oh, I don't have this on my main force. Let me just bring this in. Except it's like at the beginning of the game, right? Yeah, if you want to go theme, why aren't you not at least a 10 plus? Well, it doesn't even matter if you're a 10 plus anymore, really, when it caps at like 3. It mattered last year to be a 10 plus, and I did like a Gotham City team that was like a 12 plus theme team, which was hilarious. Um, WizKids say no swap. So if they made a figure that said like, I feel like they've made characters. Uh, this was more so against ID cards. These characters were countered. Earth-X Cap is an exclusive. I was trying to find it here. I'm sorry. Let me just hit this before I'm gonna finish that thought. I don't think he has the Avengers keyword though. Yeah, he doesn't. He's Soldier, Shield, and Earth. It's crazy. Earth-X. That is so weird. So, yeah. Anyways, if what was I saying? The ID card thing and swap. So they have made characters that sort of counter swap, but not really. So actually, let's have to read swap again. The character who I'm thinking is not Sheriff Strange. He's ID card, right? Uh, beginning of the game. Yes, you replace 4 friendly standard characters with the same. So yes, so those players, so those figures will start the game, and then you will replace them, right? So I believe this is the first one I can think of, but I'm pretty sure it is Booster Gold who has something like this. I could be wrong. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, when an opposing character that was not on the map at the start of the game is given an action, you may give Booster Gold an action token. If you do, that character modifies its combat values -1 until its next turn. I don't know what they consider the start of the game to be. If the start of the game, gosh, and that's once again where it's like, what is the difference between, let's see, the beginning of the game and the start of the game? You know what I mean? That's a WizKids Heroclix wording issue that we have. Start of the game, beginning of the game. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know when the game starts versus when the game begins, right? So to be fair, start of the game might not be a term anymore because this Booster Gold is kind of old. But like this was one of the first figures where it's like, oh, he sort of counters ID cards, right? Because that character wasn't on the map at the start of the game. So if they do more stuff like this would counter swap, right? Now, it would have to be, okay, so start of the game is map placement. So then yes, this guy would stop it. See now I should have had the core rulebook. Whatever, Heroclix, whatever rules. Heroclix rules. But yeah, so I don't know. What would you guys do to fix this Captain America? Like, I personally, what do you guys think about swap? I think we talked about it a lot. I don't like it. I don't think it's fun casually. Basically, if you guys think, is there like, so trait aside, like, so let's just first of all, what would you guys do for this? Like, what traits would you give him? You know, what would you want Captain America to do? I said a little earlier, I would like him to be a captain. I think that's pretty obvious. And then his sidekick ability could be that when he rolls leadership, he succeeds on a 4 through 6, and he can remove a token from any sidekick on the map, regardless of adjacency. I think that would be pretty cool. Or something like that. You know, give him ESD maybe, but I think that would be a pretty cool ability. I think even giving him Living Legend would be really sweet. Rally's okay. I'd be okay with Rally. I'm not the big fan of Rally, but yeah, like by all means, like flood the chat with what you guys think. What would his Rally do, James? Like, what do you think? Like, on a 4 or something, don't make it a 5 because it's like the X-Men thing, right? So, like, his Rally would be friendly characters, both characters. What do you think? So, that's like the tough part about Alpha Strike is even that's... Sorry, my McFlurry's melting, fellas. McDonald's was in rare form tonight. The ice cream machine was working, so I had to take him up on it. But yeah. No, let me know. Let's see. Alpha Strike. I don't know if they should hire me. I know they don't. They probably don't want to hire me, but the only reason I'm having this much like input and like psychology into this figure is because I love Captain America. Like, period, no cap. Captain America is my all-time favorite comic hero. He's gotten me through more things in life than anything, honestly. He means a lot to me. And okay, and I just really want, I just want a Captain America dial that feels like Captain America. Now, is this unique? Yeah, the powers, the abilities, this, not the abilities, but the powers, the stats, boom, this, chef's kiss. I love this. I love this. It's simple. It's beautiful. Charge, running shot, blah, 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 whatever, right? He hits hard, and he hits. He doesn't do any fancy whatever stuff. He's not, Captain America's not a pen blast person. He's not a precision strike person, not really, you know. It's just it's a good dial. It's just, you have someone whose name is Captain America, who has one of the most popular sidekicks of all time, and he's not a captain in a set where you're specifically using the mechanic, and you make like Colossus a captain. That's just so dumb. I don't get it. I physically don't understand it, and I'm not like, oh man, rabble, I hate WizKids. Like, that's not what it is. It's because I'm passionate about this game, and the only reason I play this game is because Captain America is in it. Like, if they made this game and they said, you know what, we'll make Marvel characters, but we'll never make Captain America, I wouldn't play this game. And this is the first Captain America that I've gotten in almost 2 years. The trade is disappointing. The dial is not. This dial is still worth 100 points without swap. In my opinion, I love it. I love it casually as a fun Captain America that feels like Captain America. They, to WizKids' credit, they have captured the essence of Captain America in a very vanilla, simple way. And I love that. I'm sorry, I was not looking at the chat too much. Yeah, James, I'm cool with that rally. Give him charge. That's fine. Friendly 3. Give him charge. I think it's cool. I like it. I like it. Sorry, I got on a thing. Okay, so this cap is super rare. It is 61? 51. Excuse me. 61 is probably going to be a chase. It probably already is a chase. We already know what it is. But this is 51. He is a super rare. Honestly, we should probably write into WizKids and be like, hey, I like the flair of it. Like, it does break up just a big colored circle, but the little dots do make it difficult, like needlessly difficult to tell what rarity it is. At least there's like the little tab on the bottom, but like these dots are unnecessary. It's not like the biggest deal in the world, but it's just like, why? Like, why change it now? You know, you've had these card designs for 5 years. You know, I don't like these card designs, but like, who cares? It doesn't matter. They look good. They look slick. I actually do like the way the black and white looks. They look like pretty nice, but yeah. It's time for a retraction, WizKids. That's funny. But yeah, so if I'm gonna have to talk, like if WizKids would have given me this preview, obviously I would want to work with WizKids and I would love to get previews. But if they gave me this preview, I would kind of be like how Scott Porter, like when he unboxed She-Hulk today, where he was like, yo, man, this She-Hulk was so good in the story. She had all this interesting stuff going on. She was mind controlled. She was killed. She was replaced by a Skrull. She had all this. Like, he was like going into her story. And then he looks at the card and dial, and he's like, oh, she's a 40-point like charge close combat expert piece who has 4 clicks of life and like is weak to mind control. And like, you could tell. And this is why they pay Scott. I hope they pay Scott the big bucks. He is one heck of an actor to hide what I assume is his disappointment, that she's just sort of like this very basic, simple little figure, you know? And obviously, comic books explore characters so much, like insanely, right? Like they go so in-depth to characters, especially She-Hulk in recent years. Not just being She-Hulk, but then being the totally savage Hulk and, you know, being gray for a while and like everything that She-Hulk has done in a little while, you know, in these past few years. But like, you can't always every single version of a comic character, and I understand this from WizKids' perspective, you can't make every single version of a character in the set, uh, every single character in the set to you can't make them all comic accurate, right? You just can't. Like, because otherwise they're gonna be way too long, way too long. Like you would go nuts. So realistically, a retraction, no. WizKids, so the closest, I don't know if they've ever made a retraction. Obviously, they've made changes to figures and everything. Um, so, like, I mean, they've, like, done erratas. I don't know if they've ever retracted anything. Okay, the only time I could think of a retraction, and we're not really talking about Captain America anymore, but that's fine. And if, like, by the way, if you guys like these live videos, let me know. I'll try to see if we keep doing them every week on YouTube because I just have fun. I'm obviously just like sitting in my house talking about it. But dude, the most I can tell from retraction is when they made the first idea for a Heroclix card and it had the dial on the front. Like the first time they ever made like these style of cards, they posted them on like their Twitter and their Facebook. And it was the Wolverine from Uncanny X-Men, but it had the dial, you know, this dial right here, right? But it was on the bottom front part of the card. And everybody hated that. And they were like, why would that not be on the back? And I think it's funny because probably from right away, they wanted people to be able to see the dial. And I think they got so much backlash that they changed it to the back of the card. So that's the only retraction I can think of. It wasn't a official release. It was more of a, this is our idea and this is what we're thinking of, right? Even when they made like the worst figure ever, Felix Faust, they never straight out banned him. They only early retired him. So he would still be playable in Golden Age, but Golden Age doesn't like exist to WizKids. It's not a real format. There is no Golden Age, right? That is something that we as a community have made up. So they never banned a figure, even like the worst figure ever. They just early retired him by a year. So yeah. No, Scott Porter has an awesome acting like career. Like honestly, Scott Porter isn't like mega superstar whatever, right? But he has like just a super awesome career where he gets to support his family and do what he loves and support good causes and everything. And like that's what I'm really jealous of. He got to be, you know, he gets to be his favorite characters. I think that's what, like myself, like I do community theater. I'm no Scott Porter, obviously, no one is. But like, dude, you can't like just to be Scott Porter, right? Like he gets to be Harry Osborn, he got to be Iceman, Scott Summers, he got to be characters, he got to be Winter Soldier, right? And all these different like things. Just to be able to voice act characters that I like and like play them and stuff, you know, that would be easily be like, yo, acting is awesome. I love acting. This is great, right? So like just being able to do that, that would be a dream. You know, not even making money or what. I mean, he probably makes good enough money. You know, I have no doubt about that. But like, dude, he does. So Scott's he doesn't look flat. He just looks lean. He does look more defined, and he's lost like some fat around his face. I don't know if that's getting older. I don't know if there's something else going on, but Scott definitely looks like he doesn't look like he lost any muscle mass. I think he's maybe he has lost a little bit, but I think it's more size to definition ratio, where maybe he's not in a bulk right now. He might be cutting right now and just like looking way smaller, not smaller, but just lean. Like I don't want to say small. I don't want to disrespect him because he's obviously like bigger than the majority of people, you know, that play Heroclix. Like muscular wise, he's way bigger. He would be in the top 10 of dudes that play Heroclix musculature wise. But that's only because for who I know, Scott is easily in the top 10 of people like muscle wise that play clicks. Speed Racer is fire. I love Speed Racer. Oh, what else is good here? Yeah, okay, so I never read Immortal Hulk, but from my understanding, what a lot of people said, Immortal Hulk is an incredibly accurate version of like with the green door and whatever else, how Bruce Banner comes back to life and stuff. Yeah, they did good with Immortal Hulk. Like, I think they did good with a lot of characters for comic accuracy wise, but even looking at like the Captain America set, right? Um, like for every Immortal Hulk in the set, you know, there is a Who's a figure that's like really bad? Oh, Absorbing Man. There's an Absorbing Man. Like for every Immortal Hulk, there's an Absorbing Man who's just like lame, and it's like this is a very basic understanding of his like power set, you know. But okay, that's a little mean. Let's look at somebody who's like from a specific storyline, who's supposed to like fit a like specific what's it called here? Yeah, so for every Immortal Hulk, there is easy. For every Immortal Hulk, there's a where is he? I was gonna say Guy Gardner, but that's not true. Guy is fine. He's just not like totally, you know. I shouldn't even say that. Guy Gardner's freaking amazing. For every Immortal Hulk, there's like whatever. I don't know. There's plenty of bad, like this like Magneto, where it's like phoned in. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh yeah, it's probably this version of Magneto. You know what I mean? Like for every like really good, super accurate immortal like version of a character, there's like ones where it's like, that's like roughly what their powers are and what they are like. Ugh, like this Hope Summers. Ugh, so gross, so bad. Dang, I'm sorry guys. I am really fighting this cold. But yeah, guys, I think I'm pretty much good. Like talking about Captain America. I think I've talked about him for like 40 minutes now. I loved all the input. But yeah, like overall, you know, if I had to give this figure a star rating, he's still going to be a 4 out of 5. And honestly, a 5 out of 5 if I'm looking at purely dial. So if we go Captain America here, and we take a look at the last ones we got. And dude, Scott Porter, I love Scott Porter, but man, he was not Capitan America. Goodness gracious. He was like really judgmental that Captain America had 11 clicks of life. I was like, wow, Scott. He just kept going like, man, I love Captain America. You know, Steve Rogers, he's my guy. But man, 7 clicks? He was like in such disbelief that Captain America would have that long of a dial. Like, dude, even look at this, right? This is 200 points. Just look at this in compared to this, right? All right, so look at this. Look at this, right? We're looking at this. Looking at this. Boom, look at this. You know what I mean? Like, this is, what was it, 2013? This is 8 years? 7 years? Yeah, like and subscribe, everybody. Hey, let's get that Red Brown Captain America, that LE for sure. But like even this, like this is like this was supposed to be the biggest, beefiest Captain America for the time, and homie's got a printed 15 defense. That is wild. Oh my gosh. Okay, but seriously, we're probably gonna call it quits. But seriously, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe to the channel. The biggest thing though to help us grow is to share the videos yourselves. Share them to your group. I will answer that, Johnson. As long as we have people in the chat, I will keep going. My favorite keyword. That's tough. That's really tough. Because I have not been able to play a ton this past past month. And when I built my last competitive team, it was a non-theme, right? Before that, so my favorite keyword is always WWE. I love WWE. When Ultimate Warrior came out, I was like, yeah, let's go. It's WWE time. Heck yeah, let's have some fun. Besides that, it might be Herald. I really like Herald. Let me just grab one of these Heralds here. It doesn't matter which one. But I really like the Herald keyword right now. If I'm being honest with you, I really do. Firelord, Punisher, Silver Surfer, all really cool. Future Foundation, though, amazing. Human Torch, love it. Stardust, love it. Terox, fine, he's solid. Invisible Boy, didn't play him, looks kind of bad. Silver Savage, love him, awesome. Uatu, love him, awesome. Griever, love him, awesome, dude. Like 50 points for this. It's no whatever high Evo, but it's still good. Don't play this chick. Definitely don't play this guy. Exodus, stupid good, right? Herald is an awesome keyword. Galactus, I love this Galactus. I really do. I really do like this Galactus a lot. I was very judgmental on the dial like right away, but now I'm like full steam. I love this Galactus. So if I had to choose a keyword, like my favorite generic right now is easily Herald. Chip, Green Lantern, Star Sapphire, all these lantern chases, so fun. I love it a lot. And yeah, support our sponsors at coolstuffinc.com. Use code DIAL5 to save 5% off your order. Pay attention to their Black Friday and everything, guys. But yeah, I'm probably going to go ahead and end the live stream here. But if you guys want to see more of these live streams, let me know. I might also do live streams. I doubt you guys are going to watch me do live streams where I play like Team Fortress 2 or like any other video games. But I might do those just for my own sake, just because I think it's fun. But yeah, if you want any more reaction live streams where I really just delve down and just really take a look at like a figure, and obviously I'm only doing this for Captain America because I'm so passionate about Captain America, but legitimately let me know. And if anybody's thought I said anything too harsh or whatever, this isn't really like a retraction, but it's like the only reason I was hard on WizKids or anything for anything at all is because I love this game. And the only reason I ever do this is because I'm so passionate about this game. So I hope you guys are passionate too. Herald is close to a lot of good Cosmic pieces. Cosmic is by far the most powerful team ever made. Yeah, I mean, Cosmic is just a strong keyword. Cosmic is so strong. But yeah, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. But have a happy Friday. Have a good weekend. And the new episode of Heroclix will be uploaded Sunday and or Monday night. Make sure you check out the generic bracket series of videos we have going on. They're really good. I really enjoy it. Can we do a play-by-play of Clicksgiving? It depends. If you guys want me to go live every night, just going through Scott Porter's videos, reacting them, I would totally do that. It would just be very late at night. Like how this one's at like 10 o'clock. It would be like at like 10, 11 o'clock for me to like do that, honestly. But yeah, keep the comments coming. I'm going to end it here.